Hello everybody, good day. Just wanted to show you a couple things I happened to notice this morning. I got a brand new update. I got 2019.8.3. This is the newest update that Tesla just rolled out. Now, it doesn't have that many new features, but it does have a couple notable ones. And in the coming weeks, I'll be able to get a couple videos with those. There's also some other cool features on down the road that I'll also be doing videos on, so stay tuned. But just to go through, I'll walk you through what all the notes are, and even go on a short drive here to maybe test one or two out. So with 2019.8.3, we have a few different things that have been added or changed with this version. First of which, peak power increase. Your vehicle's peak power is increased by 5%, improving acceleration and performance. How often do you have cars that get better over time? Seriously. This is a free update from Tesla, and increasing the performance of a car after 6 months of owning it, or in some cases, some people have their car over a year, and they get a brand new update that gives them 5% more power. That is awesome. Another one is the auto steer stoplight warning. This is also brand new. This is something that is going to be part of the enhanced autopilot if you have it, the older autopilot package, or the full self-driving package for those of you that have bought a brand new Model 3 or Model S or X. The auto steer stoplight warning will basically pop up and beep at you if for some reason you're an auto steer autopilot and you're in the city and it sees and detects that the light is either red already or about to turn red from a yellow. And if you're close enough, it'll alert you of that. Now, it's not going to stop the car. It says that here. This is not full self-driving, or should I say, this is not autonomous driving, because there's a difference with that. So it's not going to stop for you. You still have to stop. You still have to pay attention. But this might give you a little bit of a heads up, and that's an awesome feature. Now, I haven't tested this yet with the key fob. I do have one, but you get summon, which is also one of the features that have been moved into the full self-driving, or if you have the enhanced autopilot from before. But now you can use it from the fob, but you have to turn off the continuous press that you typically would have to do with the phone app. You would have to, with the phone app, if you have that on, you have to keep your finger on the phone app screen the entire time. If you let go, it'll stop. With the fob, it won't do that. You press the button, it'll start, and it'll keep going for the distance that you set, unless it runs into an issue for some reason where it detects an obstacle and it can't move around it and it gives up, which it should sometimes, but you still have to keep aware and stop it just in case. So you can do that by pressing the button on the fob again, or pressing the handle of the car, or even in the app, be able to supposedly stop that. Sentry mode, that's all the same from before that I did a video on. Dash cam's the same, and dog mode. Now, some people didn't get these last three things, but those are all included with this latest update, and of course minor improvements and bug fixes. So some people have reported a couple good improvements with autopilot overall. We'll have to see. But I really want to know what this peak power increase is going to be like. So we'll take out for a drive and see how it goes here. So here we are. I only charged up to 70% here. I have been charging up to 90, especially during the winter and during the fall. Already, that seems to be a little bit zippier. Just a little bit, not much. I do have a little bit of regen limit. The battery's not warmed up to peak temperature just yet. That also affects your acceleration. So overall, going through, if the battery's not the temperature, it's not going to dump out as much power. It's a little bit limited. I don't have any power limit here on the screen, but even still, it does hold back a little bit up until the battery's warm. And that's with all Teslas. But see here. Alright. Going out on the state route. That's pretty good. So going through and taking a look here, I'm going to pull up the energy graph, the last 5 miles. It's actually not too bad. This is probably about the, say it's been about 1.5 miles. So, yeah, this spike here is the first initial, and this one here was just now when I pulled out onto the state route. It's actually not too bad. I've actually had it spike above the chart here back when it was winter. This might actually help efficiency overall, because if you're able to output more power, you're getting up to more speed at a reduced time frame. So overall, the amount of power that you're using, yes, it's increased, but for a shorter time period, so a shorter amount. So sometimes that could be better, and sometimes that's worse. Usually you want to have a more gradual or acceleration to be able to save power. But sometimes if your difference is, not a whole lot over, whatever distance you're driving, 0 to 35, you can get up to 35 real quick. Then if you stay constant at 35, then it might not be so bad. But if you're going from 0 to 60 or 70, getting on the highway, you want to kind of space that out a little bit, and most people do that already. A lot of people happen to go through and they're gradual on the pedal, or should be gradual on the pedal. And any kind of gas-powered car, this is, equally so. You press on the pedal, you're just wasting fuel. You're wasting gas when you stomp on it. With an electric vehicle, you're still wasting it. Some of that goes into heat, but you're getting most of that to the wheels. I would say it's more efficient. I would say that's probably more likely that power is going to the wheels, and you're losing some to heat, which is good. because you're actually helping warm this battery and get rid of this regen limit that I have now. When it's a little chilly out, it's about 50 degrees out right now. But overall, it's not bad to be able to get up to speed real quick, especially in EV, where you know that you're not going to be wasting as much of your energy source than what you would with a gas power car. That's just my opinion. I don't have any proof that really back that up, but just logically speaking and thinking, that seems to be pretty accurate to me anyway. So overall, my average was up to the 400s, 500s when I first started. As always, it does drop down as I start driving. It's already down to 316 watt-hours per mile, which is actually pretty good. 306. So it's as I'm going here, it's calculating pretty well. Now, peak power increase, what does that really mean? So with peak power, it's a little bit different than what you would expect as far as continuous power. So with an electric vehicle, you have instant torque. So basically, you get power to the wheels as soon as you press the pedal, which hasn't changed. But that's different from peak. So initially, there's a little bit of a ramp up with any electronics as far as power that's drawn from a power source. And then it will spike at the top of once, when you dump all that power all at once. Now, that's not necessarily peak as far as the power and performance they're talking about. With that small spike, it's just temporary. It's only for like maybe a half a microsecond or, whatever. And then it tapers off to peak output of the battery. Now, that might have increased a little bit. And overall, that will feed power to the wheels much more than previous. But as far as in terms of performance, that's not always something that's going to be noticeable. The reason being is you dump more power, it might be 5%, but that 5% is gradual over time. The motors still have to ramp up their power. They're not instant like the battery would be as far as their overall full performance. The motors have to spin up to whatever speed they're going to be able to spin at the most. It might be a little bit difficult to explain, especially without visualizing it, but you get instant power from the battery to the motors. And then motors have instant torque. You have that instant grip from the motors, but it's not the full speed that the motor can output per second or per minute over time. So the peak is really going to be once the motor gets moving and gets to the point where it's no longer increasing how fast it's moving per second. That's your peak. And then it'll either stay at that level or it may taper off. But at that point where it's no longer increasing in the amount of times that the motor is turning your wheels, that is going to be your peak. So I've seen a couple people post out on Reddit and a couple other places saying that they've noticed a slight increase in the 0 to 60, which is probably true. But it's not going to be a whole lot for 5%. Another person that I did see say that they tested from like 45 on upward, and they saw a big boost in their performance as far as responsiveness and overall acceleration. It was a little bit more zippy. So that would be your peak range. Your motor's already turning. You need to, for some reason, get on the highway. You're going 45. You need to get up to 70. You press on the pedal more to get that speed up, and it's going to get to that top rate that motor can output with that power that you're getting from the battery, and it'll either stay constant, which some people have said it does, or it will eventually taper down the faster you go as you get closer to the top speed of the car. It won't be able to. It's less efficient at the very top end, so you're not going to get the same amount. But the normal driving range, like from 0 to about 80, which some highways are set to, you're going to get basically that constant rate regardless. But it's boosted, so you're going to get a zippier experience. So we'll test that out. So about to go on the highway here, test this out. So I'm just going to keep about 40. And it looks pretty open through here. Then I'm going to stop on it here last moment to get up to 70. So yeah, there's a little bit of increase there. Not by much. I can tell a difference, but not by much. And like I said, peak output is going to be a little bit higher. So in terms of efficiency, like with say going 70, is going to actually be less power overall to maintain 70 than it was before, because the power cap is increased, but it's really not going to have to stay at that full cap the entire time to maintain 70. So it'll be able to burst a little bit less as far as the acceleration, and overall long distance should be a little bit better. So that's great. It will help performance overall with your range, or it should. I gotta say, I just got back, and that was a pretty fun ride. A couple things. I noticed that regen is a little bit smoother. It's a little bit stronger, just like I wanted, but it's a little bit smoother overall. So going from like 50 to 30, and then from like 30 down to the 15, the 30 to down to the 5, it still feels the strongest. And that's mostly what you would get driving in the city, but it feels a little bit of an increase there, but it's much more smoother of a gradual increase, transitioning from that 40 to 30 range, where before it would kind of feel like there was nothing, and now it's you can feel a little bit more before that. And then it's not as gradual of, oh, now I'm starting to slow down. It's more gradual. So that I'm definitely happy about. There's a little bit more front motor and noise than there was before. It's a little bit louder, but it's also different pitch. It's a little bit lower pitch, but also seems a little bit more like there's, to me, some resonance in there than there wasn't before. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like they tuned the frequency a little bit. And they tuned that a little bit to be able to get the power increase. So maybe they're using a couple. They can use different sine waves of the power to generate heat without actually moving the motor, and that's one thing that I did notice, that as it was trying to warm the battery up, there was a little bit of a different sound, like it was trying to it was using energy that wasn't really going to the wheels, but it was definitely a motor noise, like it was trying to warm itself up. That's just my perception. So they definitely tuned some stuff. It's definitely great. It's definitely more punchy in a way. I'm used to the pedal now, so I'm not as hard on it as what I was when I first got it going. You know, with my old car that was gas powered, you know, I would only put, you know, maybe 75% into the pedal when I was getting on the highway, and, you know, during the city, maybe not even half. And now, with this update, and with, well, even before the update, but with this car, I don't really have to put more than like a quarter of the pedal in. And that's one thing I had to get used to when I got this car, is I was used to, like, you know, half the pedal, you know, the speed up kind of quick, and I don't need to do that because it launches you once you get to a certain point, and knowing where that point was is something I had to learn. So, but it's definitely more punchy. The more you kind of feather into the pedal, you know, not press it down as hard as fast, you know, feather into it, then you're not going to get that, you know, throw back in the seat feeling, but you still have the performance there. It's there. So I'm happy with this update. There's some improvements that still need to be done with autopilot as usual, but overall, with the performance increase, I've noticed, like I said, a difference in the regen, which is good. I really wanted that. The increase in overall power, can't ask for more. I mean, you can, but you should probably just buy, you know, a Model S, you know, performance with the ludicrous upgrade if you're going to whine about that. So this is not the performance version. It drives like a performance car. It's very sporty. So overall, awesome. I can't complain too much. The things I do complain about are the same ones that, you know, have been slowly improving over time. So we'll get there. Again, that's all I have for you. I'll see you in the next video. Please like the video. If you enjoyed it, if you watched all the way through, give me a comment. Subscribe if you want to see more, because it really makes me feel like someone out there wants to enjoy the content I put out, even though I'm really doing this just for me, for, you know, seeing if I can, you know, entertain myself actually, in a way. But I do appreciate it. So let me know, and I will catch you in the next video, and have a great and wonderful day.